I teach ENTR 210, Entrepreneurial Tax and Finance. I think the perception is that they're going to learn how to do their own taxes, and they're going to learn how to handle everything that relates to tax in their business. And that's partially true, but what I teach them in there is how do they communicate with their accountant? How do they know what they have to pay tax-wise? So we'll start out at the very beginning going through financial statements, balance sheets, and income statements. And what do they mean? How do you know if you're making money? How do you know what you own and what you owe? And from there, and that's taught in the finance class also in the entrepreneur program, but I think what we do from that point on is if you make a profit, you have a tax liability with that potentially. And how is that calculated? How do you know what you owe tax-wise? Because you've got a budget for that. So we'll learn that. We also learn about payroll taxes, sales tax, property taxes, any kind of tax that business owners might have to pay or that will affect them. We'll go through what are their requirements, what does the law say that they have to do. And that way when they go to talk to their accountant, it's not a foreign language that the accountant's speaking to them. And it's also not, they're able to go to the accountant and say, hey, what about this? I believe I have to pay this tax. Can you help me with that? So again, it's keeping the accountant on their, giving them enough knowledge to keep the accountant on their toes, but then also to give them enough knowledge to know, again, when they're setting pricing, when they're going through and determining what their obligations are, they can look at, here are my responsibilities and my obligations to pay taxes. So that's what they'll learn in the course. And they'll have some fun along the way.